Alright. Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the Sabertrio Skylar Neopixel. So yeah, let's jump into it. This is, like I said, the Sabertrio Skylar from Sabertrio. Sabertrio is an amazing company. Yeah, so I'll just hold the hilt up real close so you can see it. Not sure how good the lighting is going to be, but I ordered it on the Black Friday opening that they had in 2020, and I got it in early February. But yeah, as the Skylar itself, the Skylar, I personally, I was gonna go for a more budget saber, even though it's a Neopixel. I was gonna go for the Arclight hilt, because it's the cheapest. It's a great hilt. But then I kind of wanted to just get a full-sized hilt. The Arclight is slightly shorter than the rest of the hilts, and I didn't like the look of the $100 hilt, the Mira, I think. So I went with the Skylar, and I'm glad I did, because the Skylar, in my opinion, is one of the best looking and best feeling hilts, although I haven't held any of the others, obviously. It's got a mini choke point here, which I used to hold it on so I could reach the button, but then if this choke point right here is amazing. It's like so easy to just swing it around for stuff like the OBN and different spins. I mean, the hilt is amazing. It's so well balanced, and I got the heavy grade Neopixel blade, very well balanced, and maybe a little bit on the heavy side, but it doesn't affect me personally swinging it. Mid grades are lighter, and if you want to do that flashy stuff, then if that's what you want to do. And yeah, so it's a Neopixel blade, and now I will turn it on really quickly. Probably don't need too much of this content, but so yeah, and it has smooth swing with the Crystal Focus 10 board. So the sound is adaptive because I guess there's a gyroscope in the board or something like that. And since the blade is Neopixel, it will turn off and turn back on. Maybe one thing that you didn't know if you don't have a Neopixel lightsaber is that in person, while it may look like on camera, here I'll just turn on. On camera, the inside of the blade looks white and the outside is blue, like it is in the movies. But in real life, the whole blade is blue. I mean, that would be some pretty advanced technology for them to have white on the inside, but it looks really good on camera, so anything that you're doing with this saber on camera is going to look amazing. But in person, not that it looks unimpressive in person. I mean, this thing is incredibly bright. It lights up a room. I mean, even in this room with full light on, it's impressively bright. And really, it would have to be like daylight, like bright daylight outside for people to be able to see the plastic and tell. I mean, obviously you can tell it's plastic, but it looks really impressive even in pretty bright rooms. Obviously, the opportune lighting for this kind of thing would be half light like this, or if you're going to do it in full darkness or almost full darkness like this. Dude, smooth swing is so cool. But yeah. Also, if you are interested in buying a saber, maybe not from Sabertrio, although I highly recommend it, and you're buying any saber, although I mean really Neopixels, what this really refers to. But if you're gonna buy a saber, I would recommend getting a saber with 2 buttons. So this saber has the main button, which will power on the saber and power it off, and then an auxiliary button, which when the saber's on, the auxiliary button is blaster deflection. So turn it on, and then here, easy. If I press the auxiliary button, it does blaster deflections, which is really cool. Lights up a portion of the blade white. And then if you hold the auxiliary button, it does blade clash, which is like if you're clashing blades, lightsabers. Great for giving people epilepsy. But yeah, also when the saber is off, this is one of my favorite features. If you press the aux button when it's off, it'll give a battery indicator. So my battery is all the way up there. The battery does go down quite a bit. I mean, I've taken this to places and swung it around for a couple minutes. I would say the battery life is, I mean, for how bright this thing is and, you know, how loud the speaker is, especially the speaker is amazing. It could probably last about an hour. Usually I bring the charger with it wherever I go, just in case. It's a lithium-ion battery. You can unscrew this and then plug it in. You can see that in other reviews though. And I had one minor issue with it, but it had nothing to do with either the blade or the hilt. What I did was the thumb screw that comes with it. So the Skylar is very unique in the sense that the thumb screw that screws the Neopixel blade or any blade onto it is normally, I have the normal screw in it now, as you can see, but normally I have, or the Sabertrio, it normally comes with a thumb screw, which has a large grip on it that you can easily twist in and out with the hand. So the thumb screw that came with the Saber originally was bad. It had bad threads, and it got stuck in the hole, and when I was trying to untwist it to take the blade out, the head snapped off, leaving a piece of the screw stuck inside the hole. And I contacted Sabertrio. They responded within a day. Amazing customer service. They had me box it up and send it to somewhere in California, so I didn't have to go, you know, across the globe back to Malaysia where their headquarters are. Had me send it there. They paid for shipping and everything after I sent them a receipt, reimbursed to my PayPal. And within 2.5 weeks, I got the Saber back with a remachined hull. And yeah, everything's been great so far. So I guess one more thing that I can say, one more feature that I haven't really talked about, which I think is also one of the coolest features because it makes it unique. Like, even if you didn't have all 20 sound fonts with the different colors, it wouldn't really matter. I mean, it does, obviously, but it wouldn't be that much of a killer for me, like, to get it, because when you turn the Saber on... Oh, it's slow.
Hello there.
Also, I'm going to cycle back to the first one, but if you leave it off for 5 minutes, a battery-saving feature is that it will go into sleep mode after 5 minutes of inactivity, and that saves the battery, obviously, a ton. That's probably why the battery lasts so long when it's off, but yeah. So I'm going to go to the balance. This is probably my favorite one, because it's got a really deep growl, and also it's my favorite color is green, so... So yeah, but when you have the Saber on and you press both buttons at the same time, it will say Spectrum mode.
Spectrum.
And then you can use the gyroscope to tilt the blade, which will change the color, which is really cool. So say we wanted to be Mace Windu, like that. Also, one thing I would say is that purple, like for any LED, purple is like the least... It's like the worst color that can show up for LEDs, so just be mindful of that if you're a Mace Windu fan. So yeah, so that once you can change it to any color, so in each individual sound font, you can change it to any of, I think there's like 17 different colors, which is really cool. I mean, there's a lot of like different shades, so like there's like your dark blue, your dark green, your dark red, and then there's a whole bunch of other colors in between. So yeah, that's really cool. And then also, I probably shouldn't turn it off, but once you turn it on, and then if you hit Spectrum, and then immediately hold the aux button, it will say Blade Profiles, and then you can rotate it to do, this is probably one of my other favorite parts, you can rotate it so now it's pulsating, which is really cool. You can only do this on Neopixel. You can have it kind of like Kylo Ren, like a shimmery. You can have it like fire. That's cool. This one looks really cool. You can have it sort of like not like super fast shimmery, but sort of shimmery. And then you can have kind of like a gamer lightsaber, which is cool. And then you can cycle back to the normal one. So yeah, those are some of the features that come with the Crystal Focus 10 soundboard. So yeah, I have noticed that it does the aluminum surfaces or stainless steel, whatever it is, they do tend to get scratched. I have seen videos that if you use really fine grit sandpaper and I think water, you can scrub off some of those. I haven't gotten around to it. it hasn't really been a big deal for me. The bigger deal was obviously the broken screw. The black metal pieces look amazing. I didn't get the belt clip. I kind of wish I had, but it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, I mean, this thing's amazing. And then obviously, you probably want to see just a little bit of the soundboard itself. So if you hold the aux button,
Sound bank selection.
you get a sound bank selections. Speaker is amazing. Also, you can mute it. Unfortunately, you can't turn the volume up and down. Maybe one gripe that I have about it, but it's not really that big of a deal. And then if you go, cycling forward is by pressing the aux button. Cycling backward is by pressing the main switch. So I'm on the first one called Sabertrio. This is Dark Edition. This is a dark side font, so it is obviously going to be red. And the sound is more ominous. So yeah, I'm not going to show you all of them. There's other more detailed videos that show all of them. But if you go back into that sound menu,
Sound bank selection.
so there's a lot of different sound fonts, and each one of these is a different sound font.
You can't win.
So this one's obviously a darker blue. I don't know if that comes up on camera or not, but the first one I did, Sabertrio, is a lighter blue. This is the Obi-Wan Kenobi one. It's a darker blue. There are, I believe, 13 smooth swing sound fonts.
Last time Cody takes a day off.
This is a, oops. I did that. This is a smooth swing sound font. There are about 13 smooth swing sound fonts, and I believe like 8 or 9 non-smooth swing. Non-smooth swing means that the sound does not, it doesn't follow the blade. It will make a sound if you like swing really hard, but I don't use the non-smooth swing sound fonts that much. You can't, once you use smooth swing, you can't really go back. For more in-depth reviews, though, I would suggest the channels notabot, Semz Nerd. I'll link all the channels that you can get amazing lightsaber content on in the description. And then also some other things. If you get a saber like this, some things that I would highly recommend you getting in addition to the saber itself is a stand. Whether it's like I have a stand that just drills into the wall that I have it clip into, and then something like that just to hold it when you're not using it, and then of course something to use to carry it. I personally just wrap the hilt in a towel, and that's what I do. I don't wrap the blade because the blade can get scratched and it won't really make that much of a difference. Obviously I make sure that the blade isn't getting like smashed up or anything like that. But I think I've covered pretty much everything, and obviously links in the description for a bunch of other really cool channels that if you're interested in lightsabers that you should definitely check out. Great saber, great product. It costs $540, which includes shipping. I live in the United States, and I didn't have any problems with shipping or anything like that. Yeah, so this has been a great saber, great product, and yeah, customer service that Sabertrio offers is top tier, and yeah, I highly recommend it if you really want a saber that you really want to have fun with. Sabertrio is the way to go. So yeah.